Hi, one of my favorite things, elderberries, and today we're going to plant an elderberry tree, which is awesome. I can't wait because, as you know, elderberries are awesome for tea. I drink a lot of elderberry tea. It's great for your immune system. It's good for protection against viruses and colds. So elderberry is one of my favorite teas, and it's very mild. So come along with me and we're going to plant the tree. So this is our little elderberry tree, and that tree is not going to stay little. It's going to be 3 meters high by 4 meters wide. That's how tall they can grow. Or that is 10 feet wide by 15 feet high. So that's going to be one big tree. So right now it's small, but it won't stay that way. So let's get digging. So I'm going to dig a hole about, about this deep, because you want the roots to go in, but you don't want half the stalk to go into the hole. So I'm going to dig it about the depth of the pot, but I am going to dig it just a little bit wider so that I can put some other soil in there as well. So this is a nice size hole, because you can see when I put the pot in here, it's going to fit in good. So take off this little tag. Now I like to go and purchase from small local greenhouses, because this tree comes with a guarantee. If this tree dies within a year, because see, local family-run greenhouses usually purchase stuff, like if you find a reputable greenhouse, they purchase plants that are for your zone, okay? So like our zone here is very, it gets cold here. We're in the north. So the greenhouses, I find, the good reputable ones, and you have to find them. I have 2 that I deal with because they're family owned and operated, and they always want to make sure that what you're planting is going to be successful, because, that's their business. So I deal with 2 of them, and it's important to do that, because then your plants, first of all, are going to be for your zone. And second of all, like I said, this comes with a 1-year guarantee. If it dies, they'll give you another tree to plant. So it's pretty awesome. They stand behind their product. So I'm going to finish digging this hole. Now it's good to know your soil, because see, we have clay here. Clay is going to be great for this tree, because elderberry trees like to be kept moist. So the clay is going to keep that tree nice and moist. Now, if you don't have clay, see, clay is a very hard soil. If you have a more softer soil, that's fine. This is more soft, and it's not hard, it's not in clumps. So if you have this type of soil, that's fine, but then you know that you have to water it more often. So you just have to know what kind of soil you have. I'm going to take out some of these clumps of sand, and I'm just going to put some of this softer soil in the bottom, just because we have clay, and clay is very hard to work with. It gets very hard. So we're going to do that. And then don't forget to put in just a handful of bone meal, because that supports root growth. And then we will put our beautiful little elderberry tree in the ground. Now, believe it or not, plants have a good side and a bad side. So if I'm looking at my garden from this side, I want to see the good side of the tree. So you see how this side is very bushy, and this side not so much. So that means this side, sorry, I don't know if you saw that. This side here is very nice and bushy, and this side not so much. So I want this side facing my garden, so that when I'm out in the garden, I can see the beauty. Now I'm just going to take my hands and put it around this ball a little bit, so that I'm you know, I'm just disturbing the roots just a little bit. They like that. And then I'm going to put some more soil around it. Now, the elderberries that grow on these beautiful trees are very healthy when you eat them cooked or in a tea. But they are toxic if you eat them when they're raw. So you have to know this before you plant your tree and before you start eating the berries. So you don't eat them raw, you just make sure that you cook them or put them in a tea. Otherwise they're toxic. Now the berries, you can do that. You can cook them and put them in a tea, but the rest of the tree, the leaves and everything, that's toxic. So you only want to eat the berries, and again, only when they're cooked so they're not toxic. So now we're done putting the soil around the tree, and I think he's going to be very happy there. Now, elderberry trees grow really good in the north. They can take the abuse of the winter, and really good in clay soil, because clay soil keeps the water in, and elderberries like to be a little bit moist. So, of course, after you transplant, you have to remember to water it. So, and I give it a really good soaking. Like, I take a whole watering can and I soak it really, really good. So this beautiful tree is going to have the most gorgeous elderberries on it that again are fantastic for flu and viral and colds. We take the berries all the time in a tea. I'm probably going to use 2 of these little containers because you really want to soak it well, and I did soak it in the pot before I planted it as well. So, you know, you just want to make sure when you're transplanting that it's really soaked. So, elderberry tree, one of my favorite. I've never planted one. I've always just purchased the elderberries organic online, but I thought it's time to grow our own elderberries because we drink so much tea. So, yeah, elderberry. If you have the room, put it in your yard. I think you'll love it. You have a great day.